Hello, you beautiful people. So last night I had a group integration on my Patreon. For those of you who aren't in it, basically what the group integration is it's a group of people that come together and try to make their lives better. All of us by providing feedback. Obviously, I lead it and give support. But last night, the group integration, we all got on a call together and we talked about a topic that I feel is very powerful, and that's the butterfly effect. Now, I know a lot of us have heard it, so I'm not going to go too in detail about what it is, but essentially, the idea is when you do something, it creates such a large impact over time in the world that it changes the world. Now, these are really big thoughts, and of course, not everything we do is going to change the world. However, we as humans forget this intrinsic power that we have within us to ripple and change the reality around us. Now, these don't have to be big changes, but changes nonetheless. So last night, the story that I talked about, I believe the story originates from India. I always use a folklore story from different countries in those videos, but the story was about a king who ran a castle in India, and he had like a kingdom. Basically, really short and condensed version. If you want to hear the entire thing, maybe I can make a video about it, or you could jump on the Patreon. It's audio recorded. The whole group meeting is audio recorded. So the whole story is on there. But basically the idea is there's a king. He has a beautiful mango tree. And one day he noticed there's mice by it. So he kicks the mice out and banishes them from the kingdom. The tree starts to get sick and die. The king then realizes that the mice were keeping away all the insects that were eating at the roots. So by bringing the mice back, the health to the mango tree came back, and the king became happy again. That's the really short and condensed version. And the idea behind the story is, no matter how small these animals are, they created a huge impact for the king of the kingdom. They kept this mango tree alive that was providing beautiful, sweet fruit to the entire kingdom, or at least to the castle. Maybe the king didn't share. But these little mice who everyone thought as insignificant and got kicked out, they had a purpose. They brought some value to the king, although he didn't know it. Those little ripples slowly started to go out from the mice being kicked out, to the tree not producing fruit, to the king now becoming hungry and angry that his mango tree isn't producing fruit anymore. So the idea is each and every one of us, no matter our station in life, no matter what occupation we have decided to go forward with, no matter what life decisions we have made, we create important ripples in our life. And those ripples go both ways. The butterfly effect doesn't have to necessarily be good things either. And I'm going to give you a real world example that some of us may have experienced before. So there are things that we all do that we know help us, our mental state, our health, our emotions, and everything. We do them on a regular basis. So let's just say, for example, you like to stay up late to enjoy the night. Maybe it's the only time you feel like you have free space for yourself, and maybe you like to watch TV at night or play video games or whatever, and you know that there's a line that you cross at night, that if you stay up too late past a certain point, all of a sudden your effectiveness the next day, your emotional stability, and overall mood are lowered because you didn't get enough sleep the night before. Maybe it doesn't take one night. Maybe for you it takes 7 nights in a row for it finally to start coming to a head and showing itself. So when you stay up too late, and then let's say you go into a workplace or you are interacting with family, now all of a sudden your energy and your emotional state is off balance. You're uncomfortable. You might have a shorter fuse. Now you're bringing that energy around other people. It's okay. We all have off days, and I'm not saying you shouldn't I'm not saying you should not allow yourself an off day. But what I am saying is now all those people, even the little micro body language that you're giving off to people that you don't know you are giving off, and it's coming into other people. So they're picking it up, and now it's shifting their energy. And a great example of this is, have you ever been in a bar, a classroom, just a room with a group of other people, and someone walks in, and all of a sudden they're only in the corner of your eye, but they have your full attention, and you either feel uncomfortable or you feel like the room has been uplifted. I know that's happened to me, and I'm sure it's happened to all of you. It even comes down to the kid in class that makes everyone feel uncomfortable a little bit. I'm not saying we should judge them, but that's the power of body language. When you have poor body language, you don't have to say anything for everyone to feel it. So now that energy is radiating off of you onto other people. And when spiritual people talk about energy, I immediately translate that to body language. So when you're putting out this sort of energy, you're putting out this sort of body language. When you're changing other people's energy or affecting other people's energy, you're affecting the way other people express themselves through body language. Anyway, getting back to the topic at hand, which is important. Those effects from not getting enough sleep and creating those body language now will create other people, a small shift in other people. They will go on and have interactions with 10 more people, and they might, those 10 people might have interactions with 10 more people. Then you get to the whole thing. Every person is connected in the world by 7 degrees of separation. So I know my mom, who knows this person, who knows that person, who knows Robert De Niro. I actually have 3 degrees of separation to Robert De Niro. I will not outline it, but I do. Not that I met the guy, but essentially it proves the rule that everyone in the world, you know someone who knows someone who knows someone who knows them to a certain degree. 7 seems to be the number. So that person going throughout their day is going to affect 10 people, who's going to continue to affect people until a small change has rippled out throughout the entire world. Now I know these are micro changes and they're not going to be anything big, but they do add up. And us as people, we have the responsibility to ourselves to make our world as good as possible. And that's just a basic survival instinct. Now, for some of us, making our world as good as possible could be providing food and shelter and happiness and like help to other people. And for some of us, it could be providing it to ourselves, because if we can create this beautiful, calm, centered energy and body language within ourselves, we then can share that with other people. They will feel a little bit more uncomfortable by our presence, which means they'll share it with someone else. And by the end of the day, you've changed the world a little bit. I know this is rather grand thinking, but it's important. The power that you have should not be understated, and the amount of effect you have should not be understated. And you don't have to do something like this, where you get on a camera and talk to people, and all the people that I talk to are going to think about this and give it to someone else. Maybe even not even say anything, but bring that energy forward. Maybe you'll just listen to it and not come back to it for 10 years and be like, wow, you know what, that guy on that camera that one time was right. If I put out good energy, I get more out of my workplace. I'm more likely to get promoted. I'm more likely to make more money. I'm more likely to help people and feel happier. So I hope this helps. Now, most of my content is about Peru. However, this is what I do for work, is helping people look at the world in a different way, in a way that brings them more success, more money, more help, more stability, more happiness across the board. If you're interested in something like that, let me know down in the comments, or you can reach out to me on Instagram. Otherwise, this video right here, YouTube knows you and they know this video is perfect for you. Otherwise, I live in Peru. I hang out here all the time. I bring a lot of content from Peru, and I also talk about stuff and have a dog that is nuts. If you want to see any more of that, click this little circle right here, and it'll allow us to stay in contact so you can see what is up. And I will see you soon.